Hello, my lovely sunshiners. I just wanted to come on and talk to you a little bit about goal setting. And I know this is something that's bandied about quite a lot. Um, and it's used quite a lot in the, mindset space. But it's one of the fundamental tools that helps individuals make meaningful changes in their life, you know, with CBT. And it's one of those things that people say, right, I want to do some goal setting. And then they'll sit down and they'll do yeah, you do some brainstorming or whatever. But then they'll do the big, massive, airy, scary goals. And I think, okay, there's nothing wrong with doing your big, massive, airy, scary goals. That's fantastic. You know, that you want to do that and it's something that you want to strive towards. But then they forget all the little tiny goals that are going to get them from A to B. So what I wanted to share with you is a way that you can do this. You can set your very scary goals. You can set your short-term goals, long-term goals, you little tiny goals, big, massive goals, and everything in between. So I just want to share this with you. And, goal setting is something that you're really interested in, then I can help you with that. So it's a tool that's used in cognitive behavioral therapy, and it helps, like I said, individuals change their life and their outlook. By setting clear, achievable goals, we can enhance motivation, provide a sense of direction, and create a roadmap for personal growth. Whether you're aiming to improve your mental health, develop new skills, or achieve a specific milestone, effective goal setting can make a significant difference. So I want to explore with you the importance of goal setting and provide some practical tips for setting and achieving those goals. You can do goal setting for any single part of your life. It doesn't just have to be to help with mental health and stuff like that. It can be that you want to change your career, you want to pass your driving test and get a car. There's all sorts of little goals that you can do as well. So I just want to share some stuff with you that might help you do that. So you're probably wondering why goal setting is important. Well, if we don't set goals, then what is it that we've got to look forward to? And you might not think of it as goal setting. You might just think of it as things that you want. But if you want something, then wouldn't it be better to set a goal on how to get there? And then you can plan it out and map it out. And I know sometimes some people have said to me, well, goal setting can set people up for failure. Well, what I say to those people is that's just a lot of rubbish, because how can you set yourself up for failure? If you're setting goals and you're moving towards that goal, how can that be a failure? And if you're setting goals and you have to take, you've took 3 steps forward and 2 steps sideways and then 2 steps up, what difference does it make that that's the way that your road's gone? I think sometimes people say, I don't want to do goal setting because they're frightened of, something standing in the way. They're frightened that they might fail. And then people say, well, I knew you wouldn't achieve that goal. Or, they've got somebody's nagging voice in their head that's saying, well, what's the point of that? It's pointless and you're never going to achieve that anyway. Or, you might achieve some sort of watered down version of it. So, but ignore that and ignore their comments. As much as that's difficult to do, don't let them, you know, set fire to your dreams, because they're your dreams and they're your goals, and you know that you can get there if you really put your mind to it. So the reason why goal setting is important is it increases motivation. When you've got a specific goal that gives you something to strive for, it makes you more motivated and it makes you take action. Even when the action can be really scary to take, it makes you take that action. I do goal setting all the time. I sometimes change what the end goal is going to be, but that doesn't matter as long as I keep moving forward, I keep improving, and I keep getting better at everything that I'm doing. The other thing that it does is it provides direction. So a clear goal provides a roadmap that helps you understand what steps you need to take to achieve your desired outcome. When you can see it mapped out, whether you do it on a planner, or you do it in a diary, or you just do it in notes on your phone, or whatever it may be, and you can see that you've ticked that one off and ticked this one off, or you've found a different way around it and you've navigated a different path. It really does make you feel so lit up inside. It really boosts your self-confidence because you're achieving goals, even small ones, and it boosts your self-esteem, and it gives you a massive confidence hike. It also gives you something to focus on. So goals help you to prioritize your time and energy, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Because I think a lot of the time as well, we can go off track and we can start thinking of other things, or we let negative Nancy and negative Norman come in and start telling you that you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not clever enough for this, why do you want to do that, how are you going to afford it, what are you going to do, who's going to do that, you've tried all these things before and it didn't work. All them sorts of things can come into play. So what really matters is that you allow yourself to focus on that end goal, and you take them steps and keep moving forward. So most often than not, people use the SMART goal approach. I do have a few others that you could do as well, but the SMART one is probably one of the most common ones. So that's the one I'm going to go through with you today. What is a SMART goal? Is probably a question that you might be asking. You might already know, and you might already be shouting at the screen, we know what a SMART goal is. But SMART stands for specific. So this is clearly defining what you want to achieve. The more specific your goal is, the easier it is to understand what you need to do to get there. So really, brainstorm what you want to do, chunk it down, the steps that you want to take, what is it that you actually want, and paint that picture as big as you can paint it. So for example, instead of saying I want to exercise more, be more specific and say I will go for a 30-minute jog 3 times a week, because that just makes it something more that you can attach onto, and it just sounds better than I want to do more exercise. The M stands for measurable. So ensure that your goal is quantifiable. This helps you track your progress and stay motivated. This is a way that you can measure how far you're coming, and how far you've got to go. It just keeps you on track, and that you're not going, you've not gone 10 steps off course. I mean, if you do go off course, it doesn't matter, as long as it's still going to get you to that end point. But if it's measurable and you can see that it's measurable, then it just gives you a bit more motivation. And an example of that would be, I want to save £500 in the next 3 months. That's measurable because you can see that you are putting money away every month. The A stands for achievable. Set a goal that is challenging yet attainable. Consider your current resources and constraints. So there's no point in you setting a goal of, by the end of the year, I want to buy £1 million mansion, because you know that that's not achievable, and you'll feel a bit down and fed up if you don't get that goal. I'm not saying though that you can't set goals like that. If that's what you really want, then you set that goal, but then you chunk that down as to ways that you can achieve that. So for example, I'll read 1 book per month. That's achievable if you enjoy reading and you can set aside time for it. But like I said, if you want to do the bigger, scary goals, and that's what you want to get yourself up to, then you do that. If it's just something small, like you're going to learn needlecraft, for example, and that's your end goals, to make a dress or a suit or something, chunk that down again into steps that you can take to get you there. The R is for relevant, so choose goals that are meaningful and aligned with your values and long-term objectives. There's no point in you setting a goal if it's something that doesn't interest you, it's something that's not aligned with what you want, it's something that's somebody else's dream, because you won't be motivated enough to want to do that. And, you know, it's better still if you've got dreams with somebody else that you both want to achieve, because you can motivate each other. But don't do it just because your husband or your wife, your mom, your dad, whoever it might be, have said, you know, that this is the goal you should be going for, because you just won't do it, because it's not aligned for you, it's not coming from your heart, and you know, you won't be motivated enough to keep that going. An example of relevant would be, I want to improve my public speaking skills because I want to do a presentation to my work colleagues by the end of the month. You know, something like that would be a relevant goal. T is for time bound, so set a deadline for your goal. This creates a sense of urgency and helps you stay focused. This one I'm not keen on setting timelines, because I think that if you don't do it in that specific time, then you feel like you've failed and that sets you down on the back foot. So it's up to you. If you feel that setting a time frame would make you feel better, then set a time frame, but don't do it as a, right, by Monday the 22nd of December, I'm going to have achieved this or whatever. I mean, you can do that. That is entirely up to you if that's how it works better for you. But for me, I find that if I set such a specific time, then, and I don't reach that goal at that time, then I feel like I've let myself down and I feel like I've let my family down. So, you know, do it whichever way feels best for you, but you know, either work fine. So do that whichever way is best for you. An example of setting time bounds is, I will complete my online certification course by the end of the year. So you're going to take steps to achieve that goal. Things like that are not too bad because they do have a specific time frame in them, but other things might not. So just judge what's best for you on that specific thing that you're doing. A good thing for you to do is break down your goals into smaller tasks. As I've been saying before, take it in little steps, because large goals can be a bit overwhelming. So break them down into smaller, manageable chunks. You know, like an example of this would be if you want to run a marathon, for example, start with short runs and then gradually build yourself up. You know, don't be trying to run 10 miles your first day, things like that. Create an action plan. So develop a step-by-step plan outlining how you will achieve your goal, including deadlines for each step. Now, again, the deadline thing I'm a bit not so sure about, because I think with some clients I've noticed that if I give them deadlines, they are quite down if it's not worked or they've not done it by that specific time. So the deadline bit is up to you, but just give it you know, don't do it so it's going to be well, this is what I want to achieve, but not till in 10 years time or whatever. An example of this would be week 1, research marathon training programs. Week 2, buy some running shoes. Week 3, plan a course. Week 4, do the actual run. Another thing that you should do quite regularly is monitor your progress. So check in and see how you're getting on. This will help you keep on track and make any adjustments if necessary, because you could be doing all these things but not actually doing it, and that's leading you to that goal. It might be leading you up here, or it could be leading you over there, or you know, so make sure that you're monitoring your progress. And an example of monitoring your progress would be keeping a journal or using an app to track your daily, you know, if it's a marathon one, for example, using a journal or an app to track your running times and your distances and all that sort of stuff. And Stay flexible. Life can be unpredictable. Be prepared to adjust your goals or timelines as needed. Things happen. Life happens to us all. And, it's not the end of the world if you have to change your goal a little bit. So, for an example of this, again, sticking with the theme of marathon running, if you get injured while training, then modify your schedule so that it includes time for you to get better. And while you're doing that, you could work on your mindset. So you get your mind prepared as well as your body to run this marathon in 6 months' time or whatever. I think I want you to do, and I want you to do it quite regularly, is celebrate your achievements. I want you to recognize and celebrate your successes no matter how small they are. These boost motivation and reinforce positive behavior. I want you to, even if it's something really, really tiny that you've done, but it's a step that you've taken forward, then I always want you to say, well done, pass on the back, whatever it might be for you, because that gives you that boost as well. And it keeps you in a positive mindset. So for an example, treat yourself to a small reward after completing a month of consistent training. Again, this is sticking with the theme of a marathon. Treat yourself. Maybe you're going to treat yourself to a spa, or treat yourself to a massage, or get some essential oils and have a lovely bubble bath, something like that. And try overcoming common obstacles, so lack of motivation. Revisit your goals regularly and remind yourself why they are important to you, and visualize the benefits of achieving them. So see yourself at the end with that goal. If you're running the marathon, see yourself at the end getting your medal, running through the ribbon, just being people there egging you on and telling you how well you've done and all that kind of stuff. One thing that I don't want you to do is I don't want you to procrastinate, because this procrastination can just stop you in your tracks. And, you can find that you don't do it at all. You procrastinate about it. You'll say, yeah, I'll do it. Again, sticking with the marathon theme, you could be saying to yourself, right, I want to run the Manchester, I don't know, is it a 6, whatever it is, can't remember what the Manchester one is, but then the London Marathon, you can say these things, but then you think about it and you procrastinate and you don't do it. So breaking tasks into smaller steps and start with the easy ones. Sometimes just starting is the hardest part, because we have a fear of failing and we hate failing. But don't see it as a failure, see it as a learning curve and a stepping stone, and embrace mistakes. If you make mistakes, embrace them. You can learn from them, you can adjust, and you can keep moving forward. Don't let them, Mr. Procrastination, just don't let him come and burst your bubble, because he can do and he will do. And Mrs. Fear will come along and she'll be wanting poke a hole in your balloon as well. And don't let her either, because you can do it. You just have to keep yourself motivated to it. So goal setting is a powerful technique in CBT that can help you achieve your dreams and improve your mental health. By setting smart goals and following a structured plan, you can make significant progress towards your desired outcomes. Remember to stay flexible, monitor your progress, and celebrate your achievements along the way. With determination and perseverance, you can turn your aspirations into reality. Start setting your goals today and take the first step towards a more fulfilling and successful life. Now, like I said before, if you want some help with goal settings and doing goals, then drop me an email and I'll help you to do that. And we can set some goals and set you on a track that you want to be on. I'll also drop somewhere in this, around this pod somewhere, some of the other goal setting things that you can use as well, that you can give them a try if smart goals are not really for you. So give that a try, and I shall see you all again soon. Bye for now.